Yo, this your boy, the real McCoy, coming at you, man. Talking about boxing for all my boxing heads out there, man. You know what I mean? And this particular video here, we talking about, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, most considered probably all the best middleweight fighter in the world. And this particular video is about, since Andre Ward, now SOG, since he's moved up to light heavy, 175. Who's out there that can realistically beat or give Triple G a tough fight? You know what I mean? From 154, junior middleweight, super welterweight, middleweight 160, and super middleweight 168. 154 to 168. Is there anybody out there that can give Triple G a tough fight? Between those three weight divisions, Triple G would be my favorite. He would be my pick against all of them, especially now that Andre Ward has moved up. And since Andre Ward has moved up, I really don't see anyone at 168. I don't see Chavez Jr. at all. Bottle Jack is coming off a good win over Groves, things like that. Don't see that, you know what I mean? So he's gonna have to be somebody at 160 or 154, in my opinion. Who could give him a tough fight. Now Triple G is a special fighter because of his power alone. His power alone makes him special. A lot of people get so amazed, so enamored and so amazed by his power that some people tend to forget how, not amazingly fast hands, but the rest of his game is kind of underrated. Is basically what I'm saying. So I was saying, like, man, there are some guys, some names came up. Aries Lara with his boxing, you know what I mean, and his accuracy of his punches, being southpaw, things like that. Demetrius Andre, being a southpaw, fast hands, good athlete, boxing skill set. Jamel Charlo, his boxing, the sweet science that he do. Canelo's power, Miguel Cotto's movement with power, things like that. So a few names came up. Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen with his power. Daniel Jacobs, his power. They have a fight coming up at the middleweight division. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, it's gonna take a special type of skill set to beat a special fighter like Triple G. In my opinion, the things that a guy would need would be a good jab, because Triple G showed his jab. He showed he had a good jab against David Lemieux. Good strong. Of course, it's a good strong jab because how powerful he is. You're gonna have to be athletic. You got to be some type of athlete. I think, like I said, a lot of people don't talk about Triple G's the other part of his game. They mainly just focus on his power. He's a good, solid athlete, but you're gonna have to be an athlete. You're gonna have to be and he's not gonna blow you away with athleticism. That's not who Triple G is. He fights a little flat-footed as well, kind of like a Canelo. But he's not gonna blow you away with athleticism. But you're gonna have to be an athlete. You can't just stand there like a David Lemieux and just have power. He'll get you out of there. He proved that. You're gonna have a strong jab to jab when he jabs, things like that, to match his great jab. Gotta be an athlete to move around the ring better than he can. Willie Monroe, when he fought Willie Monroe Jr., he was able to land some shots on Triple G. You know what I mean? Southpaw and things like that. Good slick boxer. He has some athleticism. He was able to land some shots on Triple G. So you got to bring that to the table. You got to have hand speed. You got to have some fast hands. So once again, Triple G got some decently fast hands. But it's not really talked about because of his power. Willie Monroe had his hands were faster than Triple G's, and he landed some shots, especially in the 4th and 5th round, especially the 4th round. He was landing some shots on Triple G, but Monroe just didn't have the power. He didn't have the power to keep him off of him, But Triple G's a special fighter, man. You gotta have a good jab, you gotta have hand speed, you gotta be a good athlete, things like that. You gotta be a good boxer, a skilled boxer. Lemieux showed that he can box somewhat when he fought David Lemieux. He didn't just go in, hands kind of like, because he completely had no respect for Willie Monroe's power. He just walked him down. He didn't do that against Lemieux, because David Lemieux had power. He boxed, showed his boxing skill set, things like that, and he still got the knockout. Still got the stoppage, So you're gonna have to have some type of boxing skill as well. You know what I mean? You gotta have a jab, hand speed, You know what I mean? Some boxing skill. Got to be an athlete. And, you know, and for me, number 5, you got to have power. You got to have some type of punching power to keep Triple G off of you. You know, because if he has no respect for your power like he did against Willie Monroe Jr., he's going to get you out of there. He's going to walk you down, or you're going to have an iron chin. A Timothy Bradley type chin. You know, or even better. You know, one of those, you got to have some type of punching power to keep him off of you. Not saying to knock him out, just make him respect you, okay? Because go back and look at the 4th round against Willie Monroe, in the 5th, but especially the 4th against Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe started to land some shots, and Triple G slowed. I think on Letterman's unofficial scorecard on HBO, he gave Willie Monroe Jr. the 4th round. In my opinion, Willie Monroe clearly won that round. So he landed some shots on Triple G because he was a better athlete, still is. He is a better athlete. He had the faster hands, and, you know, and he kind of slowed Triple G down a little bit, where he just wasn't just walking him down and coming forward. You know, and once he lost respect from the 5th round and going into the 6th, when he finally got the stoppage, he lost complete respect for Willie Monroe's power and just walked him down, and he got him out of there. So I mean, in my opinion, that's what it's gonna take. You're gonna need a good strong jab, good athlete, good hand speed, good sound, fundamental boxing skills with some decent amount of power. That's what it's. Even with all that being said, it's still no guarantee that you'll beat Triple G. You know what I mean? He's a special fighter, special type of fighter. You know, me personally, in my opinion, you know what I mean? I know some of you boxing heads may disagree. In my opinion, the guy who has a type of skill set and the tools is down at 154, and that's Jamal Charlo. I personally think currently right now, Jamal Charlo will give Triple G his toughest fight. He's got a good jab. I say Ronnie Shields is his trainer. Him, his twin brother Jamel, and Aries Landalara. You know, if Ronnie Shields is your trainer, you're gonna have a good jab. Matter of fact, his last fight against Cornelius Bundrich for the IBF title, he knocked Bundrich down with a jab. Now, I know Bundrich is 42. I get it. He was 42 years old, but they knocked him down with a good stiff jab. You know, so he's got a good jab. He definitely will have the hand speed advantage on Triple G. Talking about Jamal Charlo, the athleticism advantage on Triple G. I think Jamal Charlo will have the height and reach advantage. I think Triple G's 5'10" and a half with a 70-inch reach. I think Jamal Charlo is 6 feet with a 73.5-inch reach. He will have the height and reach advantage. Not saying that's going to win him the fight, but he would have the height and reach advantage with a good solid jab. You know, good solid punch. I think his knockout ratio is like 77%. You know, Charlo's 22-0, 17 knockouts. Now, Triple G will definitely got the punching power advantage, no doubt about that. You know what I mean? That's just who I believe. Who I believe, in my opinion, who would give Triple G his toughest fight. You know what I mean? It's Jamal Charlo. Because Jamal Charlo, he's way over the 154 junior middleweight limit before on a few occasions. I think he weighed in as high as 158 before. I think last year, or was it earlier this year? I think it was last year when he fought. I think it was Hector Munoz. He weighed in like 158, and him being 6 feet and being young, his physique moving up to middleweight, you know what I mean, wouldn't be an issue for him whatsoever. You know, the reason why I say that because Triple G, you know, he's made it clear he has no interest in catchweights as far as Canelo Cotto. And I don't know, and I'm pretty sure Jamal Charlo wouldn't be no different. You know, so he would have to move up the middleweight, but he has come in over the 154 limit before on numerous occasions. You know what I mean? As high as 158. You know, because on fight night, Triple G, I think he weighed in 159.5 against Lemieux, and then according to HBO, he rehydrated up to 170. You know, that's why, you know, if I'm Al Heyman or whoever you know, is advising Charlo, I would advise him. I've heard rumors that Jamel Charlo, his twin brother, he's talking about moving up the middleweight. He's mentioned it. If Jamal decides to do it, I would be like, you know, fight some middleweight contenders first. Maybe fight an Andy Lee, Billy Joe Saunders, maybe a Daniel Jacobs, Peter Quillen, the winner or the loser of that fight, things like that. So you know what it's like to be in the ring with a full-fledged, full-blown middleweight. You know what I mean? How physical that would be. You know what I mean? A guy who's weighing 170, I think Lemieux weighed 175. He came in 175 against Triple G. So you kind of get the feel of what that's like before, you know, going up to Triple G. You know, like I say, from 154 to 168, Triple G will be my pick. He's my favorite. You know, I just think Jermall Charlo, with the skill set that he has. I know he's got a fight coming up with Wilkie Campford. You know, if you guys want to check him out, but I think Charlo will give him, because, you know, you got these other guys. You know, I don't think they have the complete package. I think like Laura and the Quillins and Daniel Jacobs, they're all missing something from their game. And I think Jermall Charlo has a more complete, well-rounded game with a decent amount of punching power. Say 22-0, 17 knockouts. You know, to make Triple G at least respect him. You know, so he won't just walk him down. You know, so he has a height reach advantage, the athletic advantage, the hand speed advantage, things like that. You know, and so Willie Monroe was able to land some shots on him. He said Willie Monroe only's got like 6 knockouts in 21 total fights. He doesn't have the punching power that Charlo has. You know, but I mean, that's just my opinion. Like I said, he would be my, Triple G would still be my favorite from 154 to 168. I just think Jermall Charlo would right now currently would give him his toughest fight. In my opinion, you know what I mean? I think he would give him his toughest fight, you know, especially now that Andre Ward has moved on to 175, you know. Let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, man. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. All my boxing heads out there, man. Let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree? Do you guys think maybe the winner of Jacobs Quillin will give him a tougher fight? Do you think Erzulando Lara? Do you think Canelo Cotto, you know, would be give Colo Triple G a tough fight? I'm not saying would beat him. I'm saying give him a tough fight where he got to go out there. You know, hey, you got to work for it. You got to go get it now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by a tough fight, where he's not just, even he might still get the knock. He might knock all these guys out. Wouldn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna take a special type of fighter, and I just think that the rest of those guys, the Quillins and the Daniel Jacobs, they're not as well rounded as a Jermall Charlo. You know, I just think that Jermall Charlo, his skill set will give Triple G his toughest fight. You know what I mean? But my boxing heads, man, you guys let me know what you think. I'm a boxing heads out there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. You know what I mean? And if there's somebody else you guys think, you think maybe an Andy Lee or a Billy Joe Saunders, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I don't know. You know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out, man. Peace.